Firstly then, what do we mean by case-based learning? Essentially, it's an approach to learning in which students explore, typically in groups and with a facilitator, me or you, stories about aspects of human life. And those stories could be in any field. It could be an engineering problem, scenario, it could be some environmental issue or problem, it could be to do with business situations, management, leadership, whatever. The essential point is this, that you take a case, a segment of reality in a particular area, and with students you explore what's going on in that situation. And typically, a case, as we'll see, will involve some real-world problem solving, in the sense that people have to make decisions about what to do. And typically, in making those decisions, there will be value judgments, sometimes moral dilemmas, that have to be thought out, negotiated, and eventually some kind of decision taken. Now, what's good about case-based learning in terms of helping students to develop certain skills? Well, essentially, it's about getting students to apply knowledge through using different types of thinking. Students have to analyse the situation. They have to compare and contrast things. They have to look at a range of data, what's going on in the case, make inferences in interpretation. And finally, if they're going to make decisions, they have to evaluate various options. And finally, equally important perhaps, is they can go back and think about their thinking. So in terms of the development of good thinking, cases are a particularly good vehicle. Also, because cases involve moral dilemmas, there's an opportunity for students to understand the basis of moral and ethical reasoning, to understand that value judgments are very much bound up with beliefs. And beliefs may not be based on factual data, but certain assumptions about the nature of reality, about the nature of the human condition. And finally, very importantly, the cases, because they're real-world focused, and students can relate to these often much better than traditional classroom lecturing, they may be much more motivating to students. So there is a real case for case-based learning. In the subsequent sections, we'll look at how we go about selecting cases to use, writing cases should we choose to do so, and it's a very useful thing to do because you can make them much more contextualised to the student groups you're teaching. And finally, how do we make cases really work and come alive in the classroom?